All right, it's good to have you join us on World of Art this week on OGTV. This is where we bring you practitioners in the world of art, and together we explore the various branches of world of art and how it affects our everyday lives. My name is Miriam Usman. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shillon, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, grand donor and chairman of council, Yemisi Shillon Museum of Art. I will be introducing our guest as well as our topic of conversation after this break. Please stay with us. Watching World of Art this week on OGTV. Let me quickly remind you that this program is a two-way communication. Very soon the phone line will be open and you get to interact with our guests by asking us questions. And rest assured, our guest on the program today will be very, very much available to answer your question. Now on the program today, I got a very beautiful gift. This gift is a bag and it's made of coconuts. I've never seen anything like this before, but of course, this is where you get a lot of wonders in the world of art. Joining me on the program today is a coconut artist and painter. He goes by the name Nathaniel Odunu. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. I am excited because I got this gift from you, and it's not just a bag, it's a coconut bag. I know a lot of people watching have not seen something like this before. So my first question would be, what inspired you to, focus on this line of art? It's something very, very unrare with the artists in Nigeria. Why
yes.
Coconuts?
What inspired me was that I'm also a teacher. Okay. So in the school while I was teaching, about 16 years ago, a parent forum chairman gave me an empty coconut seed and said, okay, my final teacher, I know you can do something with this coconut seed. The seeds were just empty, nothing. There was nothing inside. So that was when I started thinking, okay, I graduated as a painter. Is it not better I go in line with this coconut stuff? At least that will give me a different name from the oil on canvas stuff. So that was how I started with coconut shells.
I'm really trying to picture what that time looked like for you, because right now it feels like it's way easier for you. How long have you spent in this craft?
About 16 years.
16 years. Yes. So it means now those difficulties you encountered from the beginning is more like a piece of cake for you now.
It was not easy at all.
Exactly. So tell me about the story. This is coconut. It's very hard.
Very hard to cut.
Yes.
It is very hard to cut. And removing the debris inside too was very difficult for me. Yes, it was very difficult. Then my hand they were so tough. People who hardly shake me. They would say, "Oh, this guy is a carpenter man." Or
so you get them directly from the farmers. You caught them.
Yes, initially I told my students in the school then, if anybody could bring bad coconut, I will give that person 10 naira. So the following day, girl came up with about 10 pieces. So I gave the girl 100 naira. She went back to the class to spread the good news. Oh, the final teacher is collecting bad coconut. So 2-3 days after, I could not pay again because they were bringing more and more. Then thereafter, I told them stop bringing. So the next thing I did was to go to the market where they sell coconut. I went to processors who were processing coconut. When they use the coconut inside, they throw the shells away. Some would just throw it into the fire to lighten up their fires while cooking their coconut oil. So I was getting from them at very lesser price then. But when they find out I kept on coming, they increased the price.
You know, coconut for us, we eat it,
yes,
and then we try to make oil from it, the coconut oil. But not a lot of people know that it can be turned into craft.
Yes.
And then we have a lot of your craft here on the table. I mean, it's a lot. There's the cup. There's the pencil.
Pen and card holder.
Is it everything you can do with coconuts? I mean, there's a jug here.
Yes, this is a jug. Yes. This is a table decor. Yes, there are so many things I can do with coconut shells. Not coconut shells alone, and the byproducts of coconut, even the truck. I carve the trucks too. I use the leaf white painting. I use the husk of the coconut as well.
So you use everything?
Yes, almost every part, aside from the root. Yes.
Okay, so you are taking us through the things you can make with coconut.
Yes, I use them for installations, portraitures, and several other assemblages.
Wow, interesting. Yes. I guess my next question will be, in this line of crafts that is not popular in Nigeria, how does it feel like, you know, not being able to have like minds of this nature? I know there are lots of painters in your area in Nigeria, there are lots of canvas artists, but coconut artists is very rare.
Yes. When I started, it was nobody was doing it.
Nobody would even believe in it.
So they were like, oh boy, leave this thing, face your painting, face your woodwork and the rest of them. But I told them, no, let me just keep going with this thing. Even some of my professional colleagues told me, don't go for the crafting, go for the installations. You know, those ones will fetch you more money. But it was these craft works that brought me out to the limelight.
How do you mean?
Yes. A friend of mine posted something on Facebook, writing stories about coconuts. And I just inboxed her and I told her, come, I make craft works with coconuts. She said, okay, send them to me, let me see. As soon as she saw those things, she was like, wow, this is beautiful. And she reposted the thing, added my photograph, added my phone number to it. Okay, in case you want to buy any of these things, contact this my Nigeria friend. She's a German. So a blogger in Nigeria, a young blogger in Nigeria, picked it up, write the story again, posted it, and that was when people started calling, oh boy, we love this thing, how can we meet you? BBC came, Reuters came, and so many local media houses came as well.
Interesting. Let me quickly remind our viewers that you can join in on the conversation by calling on the number that will be displayed shortly on the screen. Please, when you do, try as much as you can to turn down the volume of your TV set. And don't forget, you can also use our social media to send us messages to, of course, our guest on the program today. So we have this work. This is obviously a jug.
Yes.
Yes, and you pour water or tea inside. But my next question will be, people patronize this in Nigeria?
Yes, they do. They are not, most of them don't now. But I have some clients outside Nigeria that patronize it more. So you have international audience. Yes. Interesting. Now take us through the steps you do it, because I know this is looking a bit smoother than the real coconut. Yes. So take us through it. I know you do a lot of work here. It's not just the ordinary coconut shells. You know. Yes, sir. What I do is that when I buy the coconut, I'll cut it. I have machines that can cut now. Initially, I was using hand saw. But now I have machines that can cut. Then we'll use knife to remove the coconut inside. Then use sandpaper to sand the body and the inner part as well. Hold on. So I've never seen a coconut that is as big as this. So there are coconuts that are this big. Yes.
And then you have to carefully pull the
coconut
fruit out of it.
Yes, the meat. You remove it bit by bit. It takes a longer process, but with time.
What if in the process of trying to extract the flesh or meat in it gets broken or something? Because I know it has this.
It can hardly break. The thing is that God created coconut in a very better way that, in fact, the shells are very strong. Even if you bury the shell in the sand for years, you can still go back there, dig it out, and you still use it. Yes, because some of the shells I bought years back, I still have some of them around my home, which I can still use for keychains and some other things. So it's very strong, very, very durable.
Okay, so we have on the table, we have this lamp.
Lampshade.
Lampshade. Okay, this is quite interesting because all you need to do is plug this to the electricity, and then there's a bulb here, exactly. And this could be very good for the bedside lamp. Beautiful, very beautiful idea. But I also observed that the way this one is bright is different from
these.
Yes, so let's talk about it. What makes it different? Why?
The difference is the polish.
Okay.
Here I have a matte polish, so, and the other one is the glittering polish, because it's meant for the ladies. And you know, ladies, they love things that glitters. So, but for those art lovers who may want to have a natural taste of the coconut, we'll go for the matte one. So this is a matte finish lampshade.
I guess my next question would be, how readily are these materials available? It's coconut. In Abeokuta, I've not had to see so much coconut here because I'm not sure it's planted in this place. So, for instance, someone is watching you and wants to probably start all of this, you know. How accessible are all this material?
Coconut is accessible anywhere in the country. Though we have them in large quantity in Lagos State, Badagry to be precise. But presently, most states are planting coconut. So there are bodies involved in the plantation of coconuts, and we have such body in Ogun State too. I know some of them will be watching this program. They call them Nakopman. So they are planting coconut everywhere. In Lagos, we have Laskoda, who is into plantation and other things that has to do with coconut. Just to drift away a little bit, how long does it take to plant coconut before getting? It depends. It depends. We have the one that can produce at the age of 4 years. We have, that is the dwarf type. Then we have the hybrid. We have the African tall. Those ones will take probably 7 years. But if I want to produce my art, I'll prefer the products or the roots, or fruits rather, from the African tall, because they look stronger and bigger than the dwarf type. The dwarf type, the shells, I don't use them because the shells are not as strong as the African tall. Okay. So in making your works, what gives you inspiration? Because I see here you have bangles, something, there's a bangle. Yes. The female can just put this in and it's fashion. And then you have the key holders. You know, there's just so much things, but it means that when you are doing all of this, you have something in your head you're thinking about. There's something you want to bring into reality, you want people to know about. So what's that thing for you? Everything I see around me daily inspires me to create my works. For instance, if I see if I see a lampshade created in the probably plastic or glass now, I'll just look at it, oh, I can as well imitate this with my coconut. Not copying it exactly, but I'll just get the inspiration from there. Okay, I can just use coconut to do the same thing. Just like the cups, the bags, and the rest. And there are some I will just sit down and think, okay, this thing can be done this way. Okay. And I will do it by the grace of God. Let me take you back to when you said that when you initially started all of this, it kind of dealt with your hands. You know, your hands became so strong because these things are very, very strong. Okay. But I think over time you started using machines, equipment that made it easy for you. Now, before you started using machine, how long did it take you to make some of these things? For instance, we see the bag on the screen. Okay. That's the cup. Okay. How long does it take to make one manually without? Manually, at least in a day you can make at least more than 10 cups in a day. And what made my hand stronger then was that I was not protecting myself. You know, getting a new idea, you just want to do something quickly and get out of it. But presently I use gloves, I protect my hands, I protect my body, the hair. So the hand cannot be taught, then I have machines too that I use. But in a day, manually one can make within the range of 10 to 15 cups.
So if you're using machines?
If I'm using machine, I could go as much as close to 100. Yes.
Okay, so the machines kind of reduces your filing or the cutting.
You know, they are electrical machines.
Yeah.
So instead of using hand saw to cut the shell, since we started this program, I've cut with machine. I should have been done with more than 100 coconuts.
Interesting. We have a message from Andrew on Facebook from Badagry. How can I learn how to use coconuts for artwork, and how long does it take to learn this from a master, to master the art of art? How long can it take me to master the art of?
It depends on the individual. Like, I've been training for Lagos State Coconut Development Authority for some years, and while we're doing it, we're using 3D.
You're really involved in this. I love to hear. All right, let's pick this call. Thank you, Ade, for joining us.
Yes, I just want to find out where is this man based, and what is the cost of this thing, this experiment?
All right, Ade, thank you so much for calling. He wants to know where you're living.
I'm in Badagry.
Okay, you're in Badagry.
Yes.
Okay, our guest is in Badagry. For those asking,
You can reach out via Facebook now.
Okay, so you can reach out via Facebook. What's your name on Facebook?
Nathaniel Hodonu.
Nathaniel
Or Just Coconut.
Hodonu or Just Coconut. Interesting. He was asking of how much you sell your products, and I know you don't always talk about it, but
it depends on what product the person wants. Okay, for instance, this now is 10,000 naira only. Okay, so the cup is 2,000, and it depends on what the person wants. And if it is portraiture, fine.
okay.
We'll talk about it when he reaches out to me now.
All right, so back to how long does it take to learn?
Yes, okay, I was trying to explain something that when I was training for them, each section would take us just 3 days. So we teach them the basic things they need to know about cutting the nuts, removing the meat, sanding it, and the rest of them. Then after that, like what I do, I have other trainings I do for young children at home. I call that Catch Them Young, those in secondary schools. So if I teach them for a week, during the long vacations, I'll teach them for a week, then monitor them for the next 1 year. I also do online training too. After
we have a call.
Okay.
Sorry, let's take this. Thank you for joining us, Femi.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I would like to congratulate Mr. Nathaniel for the discovery and the hard work he has done in the use of coconut for making different artwork. Yeah, I want to ask, how far can one go with such art? Let's say, for example, if one wants to mass produce and export, like how long will it take to mass produce quantity that could be taken out of Nigeria for sale? Thank you.
All right, Femi, thank you so much for calling. Did you get a question?
Yes.
Yes.
It depends on the number of the item we want to make. For instance, if it's ordering for cups now, how many cups are we making? So if I know the number of cups I'm making, recently I just sent about 125 candle bowls to my clients in the US, and that took me just a week and 2 days. Yes. So it depends on the number of the items the person is ordering, and just that.
All right, I hope Femi gathered that for his question. Ade is asking from Ibadan, did you study art in school or you learned it outside?
I did art, my NCE art, my degree to art, so I study art.
Interesting. I mean, Adio is asking from Ibadan, do they study this form of art at the Polytechnic?
No.
So this form of art is like self-discovery.
Yeah,
you discovered it
yes,
yourself.
yes. No, it's not in any of the high institutions now. Maybe tomorrow, but presently, no.
So if you have been into this form of art for the longest, what would you say are the challenges you've encountered personally, and how have you been able to work through such challenge and still working?
Okay, like the first challenge I had was the way people see the craft works. You know, when I started, I was making some of these things, and sometimes I'll give to friends, okay, take this, I dash you. But by the time you go to such person's house a week or 2 weeks after, you'll see your cup outside the house. So I stopped giving to people.
So some people do not value
they
it.
Do not, they did not value it at the beginning. But now, when they found out people are falling in love with it, so they want to. And then I'll tell them, okay, it's for sale. Because I'm not picking the coconut, I buy them and I go through stress producing them. So if you want any item, you pay for it. Even somebody that is selling coconut to me had a funeral party and he said, okay, boy, do 20 coconut cups for me so that they can use it for palm wine. I said, okay, oh, no problem, I'll do that, but you pay. So he was like, how much? I told him the price. Okay, 20, you pay 40,000 naira. He said, how much I sell coconut for you? That you want to collect 40,000 naira from. So I said, no problem, you plug your coconut, cut it yourself, and go and drink palm wine.
I do agree.
So people don't really value it at the beginning, but now the value is higher, you know, through the promotion of stocks online.
And I think your personal innovation also make this go far for you.
Yes.
We're drawing towards the end of the program today, and I want you to say something to up-and-coming artists and artists that are also in the line of work as you are. You're also a painter. Yeah, you're a sculptor. You're just like a full...
Then I'm a teacher too.
You're a teacher too, exactly. And then you have, of course, the Society of Nigerian Artists to talk about before we wrap up. And,
my advice to the upcoming artists is that if you have passion and talent for this, just make sure you are persistent in what you are doing. Don't look at the side attractions, side stories that you can't go anywhere or anything. Just keep doing what you know how to do. And the sky will be the starting point.
Right, the sky will be your starting point. Just before we wrap up again, I'd like you to tell us your handle for your social media. Rather.
Okay, Nathaniel Hodonu, that is one. Then I have Just Coconut. My coconut is spelled K-O-K-O-N-U-T.
Okay.
So Just Coconut.
All right.
So,
of course, the sponsor of our program.
Sincerely, I want to appreciate Prince Yemisi Shalom for having me here today. Yes, somebody Baba I know very well. So, I really appreciate him for sponsoring this program, because if not for somebody like him, nobody will see me in Abeokuta today.
I do agree with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on the program today. This is
for
how far we can go. We get all your calls and your messages, but time is really not by our side. This is where we bring you experts in the world of art, and together we explore the various branches of visual art. When it comes to art, this is the best place to get all the details. My name is Miriam Osman. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shilon, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, Grand Donor and Chairman of Council Yemisi Shilon Museum of Art, and also the Grand Patron SNA Ogun State. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye for now.
Your eye is an important part of your body that needs regular care. Everyone rely on their eyes to see and make sense of the world. Caring for your eyes now could prevent early blindness and vision impairment. Exposing your eyes to generator smoke or any kind of smoke could lead to cataract and damage of your optic nerve. Staring at